Hello and welcome to the next square in the 50 stitches crochet along, and this week is the waffle stitch. This is a really nice textured stitch and it's very popular for baby blankets just because of the texture of it. It works into a nice thick fabric and it's simpler than it looks. All you're using is double crochet and front post double crochet, and that's all there is to it. Okay, so how do we get started? So you're going to start with a foundation chain of 32, and then your first row is all going to be double crochet. Now remember that turning chain counts as a stitch, and you'll make that first full double crochet in your fourth chain from your hook, which is the 29th foundation chain. So that foundation chain there counts as a stitch, and then you'll do 29 more double crochet all down to the end of your foundation row. So I'm just going to zoom in so you can see what I'm up to, and I'm just going to finish the foundation row. So for this stitch we're using a 4mm hook, and we need to do 15 rows for this square. I'll just finish this row. And then we're going to turn. And with all my squares, I use the alternate turning chain. If you haven't seen how to do this before, if you take a look at my YouTube channel, you'll find a video on how to do it. But you want to, oops, not really tight. Make your turn, and this counts as your first double crochet. I'm going to pop a stitch marker in the top there. Okay, so that's your first stitch, and now we're going to do a front post double crochet. So you're making this into your second stitch of row 1. Just like we did in the alpine stitch last week. Go. And the next 2 stitches we're going to do double crochet. Just a normal double crochet. Okay. And then I'm going to do another front post double crochet. So remember, for the front post, you start at the right of the stitch of the row below, just put it through the post so you can see your hook on the other side, yarn over, pull through and do your double crochet as normal. So you don't go through the top of the stitch at all, you just go through the post. And just remember not to include that skip top in your stitch count when you're looking for your next double crochet. So you effectively skip the top of that stitch and go into the top of the next one, and we'll do 2 double crochet. And this is the pattern we're going to repeat for this entire row. So you do a double crochet, 2 double crochet, followed by a front post double crochet. Okay, but to start you just have the 1 double, a front post double crochet, 2 double crochet, front post, 2 double crochet, front post. So it's that pattern all the way down this row. So this square is, not the square, the waffle stitch is a repeat of 2 rows. So it's a repeat of this row 2 and row 3, which we'll get to in a minute. But you repeat that all the way through the stitch. And it's, so if you're looking to multiply this up for a bigger size, this stitch works in multiples of 3s, plus 1 chain for the end of your row, plus the chains you need for your turn, which for double crochet I use 3. So it's multiples of 3, and then you add 4 chains onto your foundation row to account for your last stitch in the row plus your turning chain. So let's get to the end of this row. It's a really nice and easy repetitive pattern. Lovely easy stitch. Some more yarn. Okay then, so if you look, now we've got this pattern forming. So this is the post of our waffle, and on the next stitch we're going to create the standing out rows. I'll just bring the original back. So we've got these rows going across here, that's what we're going to create with the next row. And at the moment we're creating these posts. So just finish this row and we'll show you how to do that. So you should have 30 stitches in every row. So it's always worth checking your stitch count. Okay. For our last 2 stitches, so we do one more front post and we end with 1 double crochet, which will be going into the top of the turning chain. You always want to end with a double crochet. You don't want a front post double crochet in on the end, as it will make it difficult to put your border in. So then turn, chain 1, and do your alternate turning chain. Into there. I always crochet so much more tightly when I'm on the camera than I do normally. It's quite strange. Right, and excuse me a second. Just pop this stitch marker in. Here we go. Right, so for the next row, you start forming those front ridges. So for the back, you're doing the opposite of what you did in the front. So we start, so your turning chain counts as a stitch, that's your first double crochet, and we're going to do a double crochet in the next stitch, which you remember is on the front, there's a front post. Okay, so that's the stitch we're making top of now. We just do a normal double crochet, and then the next 2 stitches at the front were just normal double crochet, and in these we're going to do front post double crochet in these 2. So we're just doing the complete opposite of what we did in row 2. And then the next stitch, double crochet, and in the next 2 stitches we front post double crochet. And this is the pattern we do all the way down the row. If I just turn back, you see those ridges are forming. So we've got the posts, we've got the ridges, and these will start to turn to squares as you go up the square. And we're just going to continue this pattern all the way down this row and this is the pattern we form. So I've just shown you the first 3 rows. For the rest of the pattern you just repeat rows 2 and 3, which is the rows of double crochet and front post double crochet. You do 15 rows in total, okay, and you end on a row 3. So that end is the repeat of the row 3, and that is the waffle stitch. To do your border, nice and simple, it's just 2 single crochet in the side of each row of double crochet. You add an extra stitch for the corner, and then it's just 1 single crochet in every stitch across. And that is the waffle stitch square. So as always, if you need any help, come over to the Facebook group, come and show us your squares there. I'd love to see what you've made, how you've chosen to do it. And I will see you for the next square. Bye for now.